Alright guys, so just like we do when we're in class, I am going to run through these documents, we'll tear apart the questions, all the good stuff that we would do if we were in person. So let's start with your first homework, which is the 1920s documents. That's what I'm on right now. We're going to do document 1, document 5A, and document 4. So let's start with document 1. Our question here is, what is the relationship between Calvin Coolidge's administration and big business in the 1920s? Well, let's first take a look at this document here. You've got CC. We can guess that that stands for Calvin Coolidge. And he's got an instrument here that says praise on it. And then you've got the dancing big business. So let's think about what that means. The phrase singing the praises of, we know that praise means you're doing really well. If I give you praise, that means I like what you're doing. And if we have Calvin Coolidge playing praise to big business, that means he really likes them. Now let's take a look at this other document over here. And we've got what a friend we have in Coolidge. And we know when somebody's depicted as big and in a nice suit here, that means they're the big business guys. And they are saying, we've got a friend. So the relationship is pretty positive between Coolidge and big business in the 1920s. You could say it in a few different ways. All right, let's take a look at document 5A. Now, what have we learned this year? Two things. First of all, we have to look at what comes before the document and what comes after the document as well. So up at the top it says I.W. Burnham was a Wall Street stockbroker. So we've got some context for where this is coming from. We see down at the bottom that we've got an interview here. So we know that we're interviewing someone. Our question is asking one reason the public became interested in the stock market. Let's take a look. I know you love it when I read to you, so here we go. People were making a lot of money in the stock market. You could sort of feel it when you visited customers or made deliveries. Everybody was really, really busy, and they were feeling pretty good about themselves. It was around this time that the public got more interested in the market than they had been. Stock prices had been going up pretty steadily, and even though it was still mainly rich people investing, the average guy was starting to hear about friends making $20,000 or $30,000 overnight. There was a rampant, widespread speculation, and if you wanted to take part, all you had to do was put up 10% of the money, and a broker would cover the rest. Well, let's look what we've got here. 20 or 30,000 overnight. I don't know about you, but if I could make $20 or $30,000 overnight, you've got me. And the average guy is doing that. He's hearing his friends do it now. If you heard your friend was making $20,000 overnight by putting up 10% of that, you know, I'm not really good at the maths, but that's $2,000, I think, that you'd have to put up, and a broker would cover the rest for you, and you could make money overnight. So one reason the public was interested in the stock market is it's a get rich quick. Get rich quick idea. And if we know that this is coming from a stockbroker, we know what our source is. He's telling us, I was working in the stock market, this is what I saw, this is what I know. So our answer, one reason the public became more interested in the stock market, it was easy to get rich quick. All right, we've got one more here. Document 4, another political cartoon. Let's take a peek down at the source here, Chicago Tribune. We know it's a newspaper. It's in 1924. We're looking for one criticism the cartoonist is making about the 1920s generation. So we've got up here, if Grandpa could only return with some of his discipline, and you have Grandpa there, our frugal forefathers. What the heck does frugal mean? So if we are frugal, it means we conserve money. We don't want to spend it. And our forefathers are our founding fathers. So our founding fathers, or our frugal forefathers, are saying you've got everything in the world to be thankful for, but the more you get, the more you kick. And then you have him getting ready to spank this generation. And look at all these toys down here. You've got the ice box. You've got the vacuum. You've got the car. You've got street cars. You got music. You got the bathtub. You have the movies. You have the washing machine. These toys down here are meant to represent all the new inventions, these consumer products that are coming out of the consumer revolution, which you saw in your notes from today. The 1920s are now having. These are all inventions that were making life easier for people. Imagine having to wash clothes without a washing machine, preserve food without an ice box. You now have a radio that you can listen to music on. You can go to the movie theaters. These are all how life is changing at a quick speed for the people. And all they want is more. So the criticism that we see in this political cartoon is that we now have everything at our fingertips, but we still aren't happy. We want more. Nothing is ever enough, which is why people were borrowing money to have the newest, the greatest, the newest, the best in their homes. So the wanting more, never being happy with what we've got. All right, those are the 3 documents that you had to cover for your first homework assignment, and I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to email me anytime.